Hello, everybody, and welcome to Business Lunch with Liam. Sorry, Andy, did I catch you out there? I didn't really give you any warning that we were going live.
You just joined my room. It was like a house party moment where you on the house party up, and all of a sudden 6 people just go boom. Like, oh! And you're still in your dressing gown and your slippers.
Welcome everybody to a surprise. Welcome to Business Lunch with Liam on a Monday. Thank you very much for joining us. Thanks very much for watching back. If you are watching back on YouTube and Facebook, we are live on both at the minute. Today I'm joined by a very good friend of mine, Andy Henderson, who's a Sherpa guide, business coach, all-round fantastic person. And I asked Andy to come on a couple of weeks ago because I know he's doing great things in the local area and the wider region with his business coaching and his, relatively new concept, isn't it, Andy? It's a couple of years old. I mean, first of all, tell us where you are, what can you see, and just tell us a bit about yourself.
Well, currently I'm in bedroom 4, which is the new Success GPS headquarters at the moment during lockdown. And what can I see outside? Well, fortunately for me, I've got a lovely view outside. I'm going to show you.
Yeah, please.
The village green, which is absolutely beautiful.
Wow.
So that's our front garden in effect. It's a lovely place to hang out and chill out and have a beer at weekends and play football and frisbee with the kids. So it's all good. Thank you. Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm very well. Life's busy. You know, life's full of challenges, isn't it? And
it is.
It keeps you occupied. So tell us, where did it start, Andy? Where did this was it a light bulb moment? What was it that thought, you know what, I want to help businesses in this way?
Well, there are a number of moments, Liam, on the build-up, because they say that life is done for you, not to you. Mm-hmm. And with the benefit of hindsight, you can see how your life is a series of things that happen that have meaning, that take you to where you are now. And there's been loads of those moments. I mean, I started my life in IT, really. I didn't want to be in IT. I was never a gamer. I was never into computers. I just sort of left college and someone knocked on my door and said, do you know anyone who wants a job in IT? And 20 years later, I jumped out of that. You know, I did some great things in the IT world, and I had a great team of people, and, you know, we grew one business, you know, tremendously, you know, from 1 million to 25 million. And I think when I was at the top of that business, I managed to turn it from a business that was failing, really. It went from 15 million to 12 million, and I managed to turn that around and grow it to 25 million in 3 years. And, you know, there's some stuff that we implemented in the business at that point that I didn't really realize or recognize that were really important things. We just did it because it felt right, and it had such a dramatic impact. When we sold that business eventually, I wanted to, I didn't really know what I wanted to do, but I had this sense that I wanted to help other people. You know, I liked it. You know, everyone loves, you know, when you get a phone call and you're not wrapped up in something that's very complicated. If you get a phone call from a friend or a colleague, and they say, you know, Liam or Andy, you know, I need your help. You know, you've got the skills or you've got the knowledge. I just need some help and advice. I've got a problem. I've got a roadblock. Can you help me? And it's a wonderful feeling to be recognised for helping people and to be able to and to be thought of in a way that someone would ask you for help. And I thought, I want to experience that feeling. I want to make an impact on the world. But it took time for me to realise that, Liam, because like when you've worked in one business for 20 years, it becomes part of your identity. And I'd worked there longer than I'd not worked there, if that makes sense. And when I left there, I spent like 18 months of soul searching, trying to find who the real Andy Henderson was. Because when you're in a commercial business, quite a big business, you sometimes find yourself, your heart and your mind is not working congruently, and you find yourself not being quite authentic. And, you know, it took me 18 months to find out the real me. And it was a tough time, really. I found myself asking myself all the time, who am I? Who am I? Well, I don't know. I'm Andy Henderson, but what does that mean? What's the meaning in my name? I don't know. I didn't know.
Right. So yeah, and then you discovered the forward-thinking brand. Was that, you know, all of a sudden you thought, you know what, that's what I want to be. I want to call myself a Sherpa guide. Where's the behind that branding?
Oh, crikey. Well, again, funny one. So when we sold the business, me and the owner, I was assured we fell out a bit. We didn't speak for a bit, and we kind of had a couple of lunch dates where we had a few beers and some dinner just to try and get beyond the friction of selling a business. And I had all these ideas like velocity and stuff like that, and he's like, Andrew, these business names are shit. Why don't you call yourself forward? Why don't you call yourself forward thinking? Because that's what you are. That's what you do. You're always looking ahead. You're always looking at the peak. The climbing that mountain, no matter how hard it is. And I thought, and it settled. And within about 2 or 3 days, I registered the name, came up with a business idea, and away we go. I just started consulting. I loved it. I loved that time. But after 18 months of just selling myself, my time, and working with some great businesses, by the way, I just found myself thinking, is this it? I'm earning good money. I'm working 4 days a week. I'm working with some great businesses. But I just thought, is this it? I want more. But I didn't know what more was. It wasn't more money. It wasn't more time. It was more about more impact. I definitely wanted a legacy business, not a lifestyle business. And what I mean by that is that I didn't want the business to just be me. I wanted to have people in it and a building and some company cars and a few of those complexities that we like to bring onto ourselves. Yeah. But I wanted something that would ultimately last after I pop my clothes, if you will.
So is that then, in the words of Simon Sinek, your why? For an impact, for a legacy, or is your why different?
My why is my why is all about impact, just creating positive impact in the world. I want to be an unstoppable ball of energy, just lighting up people's lives if I can. It's not always the case because we can't always be so positive, but I find myself, when I talk about what I love to talk about, and I talk about helping others, and I actually am in that environment where I am helping others, whether that's through Success GPS or whatever it is, I find myself, that's the best version of me at work. It's the best version of me at play. It's helping others achieve things today that yesterday they thought were impossible is a great feeling, and it's that I'm chasing. I chase the feeling for me that comes from impact that I'm able to give others, if that makes sense. It's like, I'm a firm believer in the philosophy of that you should chase impact.
Okay.
Impact. Don't chase money, don't chase revenue, don't chase profit. Chase the impact and the value that you add to your customers. And if you do that, and if you do it with meaning and purpose, the money and the success and the building a business, whether it's a lifestyle or a legacy business, will happen.
So how does that then manifest itself? How does it look in terms of in practice then? The journey that you take your clients on.
The journey. Well, I've got to start by saying, this journey that I take my clients on. The biggest light bulb moment, Liam, was on the 31st of August 2018, when I woke up in the morning and I was frustrated about where I was going. I was like, what is my thing? And I just sat down and I had this idea of a map. And I just drew this map out, and the map became the destiny map, which you see behind me. And the original drawings are very, very similar. There's not a lot of changes in the 2 years, or just coming up to 2 years that sort of takes place. But I knew that when I'd drawn the map, it took every aspect of everything I'd learned from building a big business, listening to friends and business associates and acquaintances talk about their business and what challenges they were going through, and some of the psychology work. I did a course in psychology, which was excellent, a couple of courses actually, and on that one day everything sort of came in to this map, and I just thought, that's it. That's bloody it. I've got it. I've got the thing. And at that point I stopped work. I just stopped work. I just stopped all my paid clients apart from one, and I thought, I've got to build this now. I've got to build this in something. I was like, well, how do I do it? So I took 5 months off work, and I wrote 120,000 words of script, 900 PowerPoint slides, and 9 hours of video. It sounds like a right hoot.
It does, yeah.
Working, and when I'd done it, I thought, oh my God, I've done it. And I was working 18 hours a day some days to build this thing because I believed in it. I've never completed something so big end to end on my own before, because usually, in businesses that I've run before, I come up with the ideas and we do some planning, and then other people tend to implement those ideas and do the work. But in this instance, it was me end to end, and it was like torture, but it was like heaven and hell at the same time, because there was some good aspects of completing some stuff, but there was some hellish aspects of doing things I'd never done before. And once I'd done it, once I completed it, I was like, yes. But that was short-lived, because then I realized I had to understand how well, two things. I didn't know if it worked. One.
Yeah.
Two, I didn't have a bloody Scooby-Doo of how to sell it, because I'm not a salesperson. I've never been in sales, and I needed some skill. I needed someone to sharpen my skills. So I reached out and found someone.
Very good, very good. So, I mean, I know a little bit about the concept in that you get your clients to set a long-term goal, and then my favorite phrase, reverse engineer that goal.
Yeah.
How does that 10-year goal then come about? How, you know, there must be a lot of soul searching from your clients as to really what they want to achieve. How do you kind of start that process?
Well, it's actually, when we get to that point, it's very easy. It's
right.
It takes 5-10 minutes maximum, and because they've already got a sense of what it might be. I mean, the whole ethos of the program Success GPS is, you know, typically as business owners, we can feel like we're on the hamster wheel, and we feel like we're going faster and faster, and to get more of what we want, we need to go faster and faster. But that leads to stress and burnout and anxiety and all sorts of tiredness and just feeling of no fulfillment. And the key thing that, you know, some key practical psychology in Success GPS that helps to grow the business, but helps to grow the person as well. And it revolves around the first two steps in the program. You know, first of all, we need to know where we want to be. You know, what is our version of success? Because everyone's is different. There are some similarities, but everyone's is ultimately different. It's what they dream about. It's what they, you know, what they really want in their life, the things that they want, the relationships that they want, the time, the freedom, the feeling inside that they want. We define all that, and we really crystallize that view of that person's success. But that's not everything, because when you're on the hamster wheel, you don't know where you're going, but you don't know where you are. So understanding what your start point is, where are you starting from, and what your destination is at the top of the mountain, that's really, really important, because without those two measurements, Liam, you can never feel like you're making progress, because there's nothing to measure progress on. If you don't have those 2 points, you just going and going and going, and want more. And that's, you know, historically, when I met business owners and stuff, they you know, when they open up, it's like they're tired, they're on the hamster wheel, you know, their whole body and every cell in their body is sort of shouting at them to get more. Yeah, but you're successful already. You've got loads of money, you've got great cars, great houses, you've got a lovely wife, lovely children, they're all going to boarding school and whatever else it is, but they feel unfulfilled inside. And it's because they're chasing the wrong things. They're chasing what society wants them to become, the society's version of success, as opposed to what's going to make them feel awesome inside, what's going to make them fulfilled. And there's an equation: purpose plus progress equals fulfillment. If you have a purpose, a long-term goal, and you feel like you're making progress every day because you've broken that goal, you've reverse engineered that goal down so much, so you can feel every day, every week, every month that you're making progress towards it, and you can see how far you've come from where you were, that's going to give you a profound feeling of fulfillment, and it does.
Very good. And I mean, of course, business isn't all plain sailing. I think we both know that from our previous business experience. How much do mistakes come into this? You know, you've designed this program. Have you've learned from mistakes that you've previously made? Can you put your finger on something that you think, actually, I could have done that differently, a bit better, and you've put that into this program?
So yeah, mistakes are everyone's got to learn the mistakes. You can't teach someone how to 100% avoid the mistakes, because they've got to feel some of the pain of those mistakes, so it's remembered. And they become like sergeant major stripes on your sleeve almost. You know, they remind you of the mistakes you've made, so you don't repeat them again. But there are some lessons learned from what we didn't do back in the days when I was running different businesses, and what we then did to supercharge those businesses, which have been baked in here. So this is not a mistake avoidance mechanism. This is a structure and a framework to give any type of business, no matter the age, industry, or gender, or anything of the business owner. It's going to give you the framework and structure to look at your business in every single way, all the different lenses that we look at your life, look at where you are, where you want to be, you know, and you know, one of the big things is that this course teaches you. It's about the destination, you know, and like we said earlier, just really zoning into that future life of success, creating a 10-year goal that's like the North Star to the Three Kings, reverse engineering it all. So you've got like a runway of milestones or waypoints or base camps to measure your progress, you know, from that year 1 right up to year 10. And you know, it's people inherently they want to feel like they're part of something bigger than themselves, you know. And if you're just in your office on the hamster wheel, you feel lonely. You don't feel part of anything, never mind something that's bigger than you. And when you create a big sort of ideal as to what you want your life to be like in the future, and the understanding that once you get the light bulb moment that your business is just a vehicle to give you that life, it's quite profound impact. And when you know what you want your life to be like in the future, you understand that it's the vehicle, the business is the vehicle to give you that life. Then you can start thinking, how does that business need to perform to give me that life? And all of a sudden at that point, you know, people come into the course sometimes thinking they want to be a squillionaire, but then they think, well, I don't need to be. Why go through all the fucking hassle of growing a multi-billion-dollar empire when actually all I want to feel like and I want my life to look like is this? So I'm not decreasing aspirations or ambitions. What we're doing is we're crystallizing them to the life that they want in the future and what's going to give them that feeling of fulfillment. And some people, yeah, they want to build multi-million-pound businesses. Great. If that's what you want, awesome. If you want a lifestyle business that just, you know, turns over a couple 100,000 a year, that is also awesome. If that's going to give you the life that you want, crack on. And here we now talk about some effective strategies to building that, you know. And it's you know, people come into the course. Well, they used to do physically. They don't so much anymore virtually, because they used to come in the course. I used to run it at the Sales Geeks bunker, and I'd see them walking in, and I could see their imaginary 22 plates spinning around, and you know, they come in the front door, and a few of these plates crash all around, and they're like, "Oh my God, all these plates have crashed!" And after the end of one day, they leave the building with 4 of the most important plates.
Yeah.
So that's what gives them the time back and frees them from distraction, because, you know, in business, every day we wake up, we want to be somewhere different than where we started the day. Now, if you put your time and energy and money and everything into moving somewhere different, but you're not sure where your destination is, one day you'll go north, the next day you'll go east, next day is west, next day is southwest, whatever. You go in different directions because you just want to be somewhere different. So to feel like you're making progress. But if your true destiny that you haven't defined yet until you come on the course lies in the east, one day you might wake up and go west. Yeah. So you might end up at the end of the day, you're further away from where you're trying to get to than you were before. So wouldn't it make sense to kind of try and go in a bit of a straight line? I mean, it's never a straight line, but go in the approximate direction. That's what the 10-year goal gives you. You know, if you follow that goal, you're going to arrive at the right place at the right time, like the 3 kings did and witness the miracle. It's approximate. That's where we're going. We're not going this way. We're not going that. We're going over there. That's where the star is. That's where we're going. Now, how we get there, we have to boil that down and create that effective strategy to start, you know, taking us in that direction. So it all makes sense.
Yeah, it always made sense to me. Hopefully it makes sense to people watching, which I'm sure it does. I mean, business is already tough enough. But of course, we've just been thrown this huge issue, COVID-19. I mean, how are you reflecting on it? We are 7 weeks in, are we now, into a lockdown, a change of working lifestyle? How you reflect on it in the first 7 weeks, let's say? Well,
it's tough, isn't it? Because I'm a massive optimist and I'm very positive usually. So it's hard because people are suffering and people are dying and people have family and loved ones in hospital and stuff, and they're scared, you know, a little bit because they don't want to catch this thing and they don't want to bring it into their homes, you know. But on the flip side, you've got to find a way, and you know, there's a like a thing, you can search it up on Google, but it's called the Kubler-Ross change curve. And it almost charts the emotions and the feelings that people go through. And, you know, at the start of this program, and the sooner you can get over the downward sort of slope of depression, anxiety, scared and fearfulness and stuff, and start to go on the upside, the better, really. And the positive person inside me says that, you know, we've got this time, we've got time, more time than we've ever had to work on our businesses. You know, that's the message I'm sending out to my forward thinkers out there. So work on your business and find a way to reach your audience that, you know, they might not be doing the same things in the same places, but they still, if they wanted and loved your service before, they still want and love it. You just have to find a way to deploy it maybe in a different way. So there's been some great moments, but right now, I mean, we're 7 weeks in. I'm feeling a bit stir crazy, if I'm honest with you. This last week, I've all of a sudden felt a little bit like antsy. I need to get out. I need to dive through the window and start hugging people. But I'm not going to do that, by the way. But I miss that, they're going down the pub and backslapping and giving your mate a big hug, and just that stuff, that close human proximity contact stuff that we can only have with our immediate family that lives in the house. And that's just doing me head in a little bit now. It's been a long time since we've been free.
Yeah.
And the first few weeks were awesome. We're taking a bit of time out, a bit of sunbathing, a bit of work, spending more time with the family. But now it's like, feeling it a bit. But got to crack on.
Yeah, absolutely. So you're in the camp of, you say you're an optimist. You're in the camp of, we're going to come out of this a lot stronger. I mean, obviously there'll be businesses that won't, but you're in the camp that it's going to be good. There's going to be a rush for sales or for certain businesses. I mean, what are them industries as well that you think may do well on coming out of this?
Well, I don't know. Do you know what, Liam? I haven't thought about it. But the ones that are using the time that they've got now wisely to build a better business, because in a business, when we're on that hamster wheel a little bit, whether a big business or a small business, we all have ways of working that we'd prefer to not do, but because we're so consumed in just doing it and cracking on, we just ignore it and hope it goes away. But now's a great time to ditch the old ways of working. I put a question on LinkedIn the other day. I said, it was something like, maybe the question's not when can we return to the old ways of working, it's actually why should we return to the old ways of working. And that was just a question I was asking me. I just thought I'd put it out there and see what everyone thought. And why should we go back to the old ways if we can? Why don't we build a better business that has better ways of working, better ways of interacting, more efficient ways? I mean, why do we need to go out to customer meetings all the time?
Yeah.
Why we have those first couple where we do meet face to face, but once we've built a rapport and an understanding and stuff, why can't we do Zoom? Let's save the environment, let's save time. You can fit in more meetings, more quality meetings, or you can certainly be more efficient by using Zoom and integrating that into your business processes, into your customers or your team meetings or whatever. And I'm sure many businesses have, but in terms of directly understanding what businesses out there are going to thrive, I couldn't say industry specific, but I can say it's the ones that have used the time wisely to think about how they can build a better business that's going to, run out of the starting blocks like Usain Bolt does in his 100-meter race. I think that's important.
So, and of course, you've teamed up with Boost Lancashire.
Yeah.
So tell us a bit about that. Where did that start and where it is right now?
Yeah, that was again, I have these moments where I wake up in the morning and I just have this crazy idea, and that was the 17th of March actually. It was, I think it's a day or two before actual lockdown, and I woke up and I thought, oh Christ, this is coming. How am I going to run my business? I thought to myself, how am I going to reach my audience if I can't physically be there to deliver it with them? And I went through that whole Kubler-Ross change curve in about 24 hours, from scared and anxious about the future to actually no, park that. You don't need to be. Just let's find a way. There's a way, and Zoom was one of those ways. But then I thought to myself, well, my mission. So just a bit about sort of the mission that I'm on. So 55% of businesses in Lancashire will not make it beyond 5 years in business, and it's my job to reduce that number to 0. So I woke up and I came up with that in December when I went to a Tony Robbins event. It just clicked, and I thought that's my job, to make sure my local business colleagues and associates in Lancashire survive. And through the work that I do in such a quick period of time, there's no excuse for them not to. If they enroll on Success GPS, I can't guarantee they're going to survive, because we need to make sure they've got a product and a demand for that product or service in the market. But if they do, we'll make sure it works. And I woke up, I thought, how can I help the Lancashire businesses with what I do? How can I stay true to my mission? And because I'd done all that work on the online program, I wrote all that script and all the videos and all the stuff, I built an online program where someone can log into it in a members area and do each lesson of Success GPS without me having to be there. It's all pre-recorded, it's all done. You get the program guide, the map and everything. And I thought, I've got that sat there. It's waiting for international release later this year, but right now it's sat there doing nothing. So why can't I get this into the hands of all Lancashire businesses for free? And my wife thought I was absolutely bonkers. one or two other sort of bonkers as well. But then another couple of people said, no, do you know what, Andrew? If you come in at this from the right place, I think it's a great idea. So I spoke to Boost and said, look, I've got the IP and the structure and the system, but in order to reach the maximum amount of people, I'm going to need some help with like advertising, so social media, Facebook and LinkedIn and Instagram, the reach. So we created a collaboration where they helped me with some of the advertising stuff and the press release stuff. We launched it a couple of weeks ago on the Monday, and we thought we had a target of hitting 200, but we thought it might take about 8 weeks. So initially we just opened it up to 50 to see how it went. And within 24 hours, we had 50 people sign up to Success GPS. And literally we just thought, right, well, let's open it up again and see how many more come through. And by the end of 5 days, we had 200 people sign up. And now they're all in a private Facebook group, and they're all hashtag mission completing every time they do a lesson and a step. They get some progress, and the feedback in the group has been amazing.
Brilliant.
So hopefully you might see some, because there's some tasks I set them every day, and you might see some a whirlwind of social media promotion soon after they get all these results, and they're on the way to build a better business.
Yeah, good. So what's next then? What's next for Forward Thinking?
What's next? So I've got plans for growing a larger business. I want to be an international business where I can help people across the world in English-speaking countries, and with Success GPS for Business. But during the lockdown, I've created a new product, and it's called Career GPS.
Okay.
So Success GPS is aimed at business owners and boards of directors and the teams within those organizations. Career GPS is aimed at people who want to change up their career because their career is not serving them anymore. They don't like their boss. They don't like the job they're doing, whatever it might be. They've had some time to reflect, as we all have.
Yeah.
I can help them get clear on that. And I've got a partner, Lee Chambers is my partner in crime on that one. He's a life coach. So he's helped me with the life elements of that, which is really, really important because I don't have all those skills. And so that's gonna launch. It also helps people climb up the career ladder. So if you've got an associate solicitor in a legal firm and they want to be an equity partner at some point in the next 10 years, we'll help them with the right questions and the structure and the system to be able to give them that roadmap of how they get there, if that's what they want to do.
So, last couple of questions. Where can people go to find out more?
Oh, everywhere. Just turn on LinkedIn and social media. I'll be there somewhere. Facebook, my business page, Andy Henderson Forward Thinking, or my LinkedIn page, or you can hit my website, Forward Thinking. There's all details about the Success GPS workshops for solopreneurs and micro businesses. There's details about how I work with boards and teams, even over Zoom, and do that virtually. And there's details about the online program as well. So everything's access all areas, or they can just pick up the phone.
And you do your Facebook Live videos most 3 times a week, something like that?
Yeah, I do Facebook Lives 3 times a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, 3 p.m. every day. And I just share some 5 minutes of value, maybe a component part of Success GPS that's going to help people, or just some ideas or thoughts I've had in the week that can help people. So yeah, I'd advise, get tuned into that on Facebook, and you'll pick up some gold.
Very good. And last question, what are you having, or what did you have for your lunch? I
had homemade minestrone soup by my wife's fair hands with a little drizzle of Parmesan cheese.
Sounds fantastic. Well, I'm going to go and have my quiche and salad. I really appreciate you being on here, Andy. Thanks very much. I'm sure I'll see you at a networking event very soon. I'm going to put the links to Andy's stuff in the comments below. We're going to get it shared around different Facebook groups in the next couple of days. And Andy, thanks very much. Have a great day and good luck.
Thanks, Liam. Thanks, everyone. All right, see you soon, buddy.